on my goddamn record, man. You fucking the wrong one right now. Whole lot of gay shit, nigga. Whole lot of gay shit. Woo! Whole lot of gay shit, nigga. Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay shit. Whole lot of gay shit, nigga. Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Atticus the Death Miller, and what's that? What's that I hear over in the horizon? Oh yeah, that's right, I hear a trilogy in the works as of right now. We are going back to an old topic, a topic that I never thought I would ever talk about again, but it turns out that this individual is out and about doing some shit, and it's gotten a lot worse. This video is about our favorite weird-ass trans predator, Jessica Yaniv. I never thought I would ever make a video on this absolute troglodyte, but she's gotten worse. She's gotten absolutely worse. So those of you who are unaware, living under Dwayne Johnson, on who Jessica Yaniv is, I actually have created a playlist which I will leave down in the description below, which is the Jessica Yaniv Chronicles. So it'll get you all caught up right at this very moment. But basically, Jessica Yaniv is a trans activist that is doing all this stuff with the trans community, not in the way that everyone wants trans activists to be like, but does a lot more damage than it does good. Basically, shutting down businesses that won't give her a Brazilian to where her cock and balls are at, won't accept her services for gynecology, and also hosting topless youth parties with no parents or caretakers, as well as doing some very, very creepy Elmo voice messages to some girls, as well as making moaning noises and orgasming over Blair White. So that is all that we know of Jessica Yaniv. But how can Yaniv actually get worse? Oh boy, she just got a lot worse. So without further ado, take it away, our Lord and Savior.
Let's find out.
So we all know that Jessica Yaniv attempts to shut down waxing services, to shut down gynecology centers, but what has Jessica Yaniv done this time that has gotten a lot of people riled up? Now, you would think that with a person that has laid low for a good portion ever since I made my video on her on early 2020, that she probably would learn her lesson, but no, absolutely fucking not. Apparently, she is going after first responders for transphobia after calling them, I believe, for 3 weeks and 30 fucking times.
Boy, if you don't...
Just so that they can lift her out of the bathtub. I wish I was exaggerating. I wish I was making this shit up, but this is reality over here. And we're gonna be reading this article right here. Transgender activist and serial human rights complainer Jessica Yaniv is being accused of harassing Langley firefighters, calling them dozens of times to help her lift her out of the bath. The fire department sent Yaniv, who sometimes goes by the name Simpson, as in Jessica Simpson. Okay then. A letter telling her that she will face charges if she continues to ask for help getting out of the bath. Since January 21st, the fire department has received and responded over 30 such calls for citizens, none of which constituted a medical emergency. The letter to Yaniv states, "Further, we understand that during the fire department attendance at your home, you have engaged inappropriate and lewd conduct towards fire department staff. Your conduct has created, among other things, an inappropriate and unsafe environment for fire department staff. This is not acceptable to the township and will not be tolerated going forward." Yaniv posted a letter to Twitter and mocked the town and firefighters in a tweet. "Hello, Langley Township told firefighters, Langley RCN. So you're gonna say I'm committing inappropriate and lewd conduct being in my own bathtub in my house. Guess you guys don't like trans vaginas. Can you give me the best address to send over my bathtub swimsuit calendar? Her tweet read, just so you're all aware, I'll be suing the township for libel and other things. I was never lewd and inappropriate, and I have confirmed this yesterday with a platoon commander whom I've asked several times, what is this in reference to? There is no such thing.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
I'm like, what the fuck? What the absolute fuck are we living in this timeline right now? Like, don't get me wrong, I love Canada. I think Canada has a lot more amazing stuff going on with like a better healthcare system, as well as like doing other great stuff for society, unlike in America. But when it comes to shit like this, they are so asinine and so cowardly, because if they're like, oh shit, you're doing all this stuff, and then they receive the backlash over people like Jessica Yaniv saying, oh, you're saying I'm doing lewd conduct over like your employees? Well, I'm gonna sue you because you're being fucking transphobic. And knowing that her and the many supporters that she supposedly fucking has, they're gonna be like suing the fire department. Now, let me just say this, being an emergency responder, it's tough work. It's very, very tough work. Because you get into like these situations where you see a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, all of you guys are like doing TikToks over corpse husbands, e-girls are ruining my life and shit, but OG fan of Corpse Husband, you would know that he made like stories, a couple videos of these stories of these like emergency responders, and they're pretty dark. They're pretty fucking messed up. So being an emergency responder, I gotta give hats out to these people because they go through a lot of shit. And to have these people have to deal with Jessica Yaniv calling the fire department 30 plus times to get them out of the bathtub and just like they make these lewd remarks. It's just wasting their fucking time and fucking resources. It really is. Like, nobody wants to deal with this shit for like 30 fucking times. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. It's a waste of time.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, but it doesn't end here, folks. Apparently, Jessica Yaniv going through Twitter, sending unsolicited vagine pics over to supposed LGBT activists with this right here. Hi, Laura M. Douglas. Does this look normal? There's some hypergranulation tissue in my vagina, but what's that big slit under to the right of it? LGBTQ, PQ, PQ, AJJK, O, and a PQ, hashtag trans. Third time's the charm, the pleasure town. Yeah, I definitely forgot to mention that Jessica Yaniv now has a vagine under there, which, I mean, good on you, but you're still an absolute fucking creep, without a doubt. See, this is the kind of stuff that really does piss me off over onto this whole situation of Jessica Yaniv, because, like, let's be frank over here, I'm not trans, I will never be trans, I don't feel the need of being like, oh, I feel like I want to have some titties and a vagine over here. Like, I don't feel that. But to the people that I know who are of the transgender community, I just gotta say, being trans is fucking tough. It is absolutely fucking tough. Like, you were born this gender, like, you know, with this vagine or cock and balls, and you don't feel that you want to, you really don't feel that you are of that sex, and then you develop all this, like, self-hate and loathing and all this shit, until you finally accept with who you are. But then you have to deal with, like, society, for instance. Society calling you a freak, saying that, oh, I've always known you as a boy, I'm still gonna call you by your fucking biological name and your pronouns, which I just gotta say, call me old-fashioned, but people now saying that they're they, them pronouns, yeah, I'm not gonna vibe with that. But another thing that really does pisses me off, when you, like, trans people already go through a lot of shit. They already go through so much shit that I cannot comprehend. But when you have people like Jessica Yaniv doing this type of shit for said community, it makes being trans a lot more insulting. And then you get people like Dustin Nunn, for instance.
I like straight women's
Boobs!
I like straight women's
Pussies!
I like straight women's
Butts!
Yeah, I am bringing up Dustin Nunn because he is an example of one of those people that is extremely bigoted towards the LGBT community. So it's like when you have people like Jessica Yaniv, you're gonna have people like Dustin Nunn thinking that, oh, all trans people are gonna be like Jessica Yaniv, that they're all the works of Satan. So it's like that. It is definitely like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not like people like Dustin Nunn. It's basically like how me, myself, on the spectrum made all these videos, you know, calling the fuck out of Dustin Nunn's bullshit, but somehow the trans community cannot call out the bullshit of Jessica Yaniv. That is what I find very crazy, but it's also like basically the advantage of just calling people every sort of ism and ist in the book. And it's basically a weapon of mass destruction. I will definitely agree with Blair White on this whole situation, that calling someone like a homophobe, a transphobe, a bigot, a racist, an anti-Semite, it is like the ultimate weapon when it comes to discourse and just calling someone out for their bullshit of a certain community. They say, oh, you're saying I'm doing this? Well, you're a fucking racist for saying that shit. Or a transphobe. And it's like, it's definitely worked. It's definitely worked over the past decade of me making all these anti-SJW videos and stuff. And it's just, times are unfortunately changing and people are using this for their advantage. And hearing that the police in Jessica Yaniv's town is not taking this seriously because they're afraid of like the fucking backlash, it just really shows how like the mighty have fallen. It just really shows on how with some sort of decency and trying to do your job, like don't get me wrong, cops, mostly in America, assholes, but not all cops. But then again, all of you are gonna say ACAB 1312 on the comments. But if you are a cop that is trying to do some sort of good for your community, and then you get some fucking backlash with like going after people like Jessica Yaniv and shit, it sucks. It really fucking sucks when you have the hate mob going after you. So I really am just bewildered and appalled that you have people like Jessica Yaniv still going around strong, still doing this shit. And I'm just really hoping that I do not make a number 4, a quadrilogy, for going after this absolute troglodyte. So there's that. So what are your guys' thoughts onto the whole Jessica Yaniv situation? Do you think that emergency responders still need to do their job helping out Jessica Yaniv out of the bathtub? Do you think that Jessica Yaniv's gone way too fucking far this time? Do you think that sending unsolicited vagine pics is the equivalent of sending unsolicited dick pics? Leave it down in the comments below, and stay tuned for more videos. So without further ado, ladies and gents, I am Atticus the Death Metaler. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Links are down in the description below. Keep it metal, stay safe, stay healthy, and have an excellent and blessed day, y'all. Skål!